When it comes down to anything in the creative industries, a great camera bag can change how you shoot. If you are a photographer, filmmaker, or even an entrepreneur, you need somewhere to stick and travel with your gear. So in this video, I'm going to show you what camera bag I use personally in my day-to-day needs on my professional productions when I go out to do some photography at the skate park. From the field to travel itself, Lowepro has made it into loads of people's different arsenal. If you are a filmmaker or photographer, Lowepro may be on your list. The camera bag that I actually use myself is a Lowepro bag. I have used it for many years right now, which my stepdad gave to me. I'm still using the Protactic BP AW2. It is a really great camera bag, but I do have some downfalls and different things that I don't like about the camera bag. But choosing a camera bag can be an extremely hard task, such as you need to define what you are mainly looking for. From how I shoot a lot at the skate park, which I find kind of difficult because I want someone to stick my drinks. I can access the camera really quickly and set up extremely quickly. I can pack a tripod or like a small slider or say a Steadicam, etc. So many of you know I still use the Canon 700D, which is a really great 1080p and HD camera, and I really do recommend it if you are starting out. What I recommend really is that you use your phones, because phones nowadays have gotten so good. Nowadays you have 4K in the depths of your hands, such as 28 Days Later was filmed on the iPhone 15, such as nowadays you have a cinema camera basically in your pocket. So since I have grown out of my camera, I'm looking for a new camera to buy, such as the FX3, the Canon C80, loads of different ones from Panasonic, Lumix, cameras which have some really great specs, and other ones from Blackmagic like the pocket cameras. But as a video production company owner, I will have to rent the cameras and find out what I like. Lenses are a great tool in your arsenal which you need. If you are using anything with a camera, you need a lens to capture your image. Most of your favorite films were used on vintage lenses. You could have the latest and greatest, crispest and most sharp lens out there that costs more than a down payment on a fucking house. I use 3 lenses in my arsenal myself. One of them, which stays on my camera and has now become my main lens, is the Tokina 11 to 16mm. I was looking for a lens which was wide enough that I could capture clips, which I didn't have to move the camera that much, and was near enough the range to my Canon kit lens. I found out about this lens from one of the filmmakers, Mike Alford, which now sadly doesn't create any content anymore. So the next lens in my arsenal is the Canon EFS 18 to 55mm 3.5 to 5.6 image stabilized lens, which came with my camera. I use this on so many different projects. I use this on Jack's Finding Things parts. I use a few lenses on that project. I use also my young Neewer, and also I use other cameras as well, such as my iPhone, etc. If you have a kit lens, I recommend that you use it a fuckload, and when you can upgrade, I recommend that you upgrade as well. The next lens that I do use is the young Neewer Nifty 50. It is a really great lens for, say, interviews. If you do any interviews, if you do product shots, if you do photography as well, it is a really great lens in your arsenal. Mainly what it is designed for is what you see from your eye itself. I got this lens for very cheap. The only thing which I don't like, it has a plastic back, which I do not like about it. But it is one of the most sharpest lens that I have ever bought. I shot one of my favorite photos and some of my favorite projects with this lens as well. I don't use this lens that much anymore because mainly I like to focus on wide zoom lenses, but I think I am going to test myself and film a whole project on this lens. Probably I'm going to be upgrading that lens soon to a more better versions, such as the 1.4 from Canon or the 1.2. So most of us nowadays are using DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. The audio on these cameras are absolutely fucking shocking, such as if you are using the mic audio from just your camera itself, it sounds absolutely fucking terrible. So what I recommend is that you get a nice microphone. The microphone that I personally use is the Takstar STG 598. I'm still using it. I have been using it since 2018. I bought this camera for a job that I had to do for my mum, when I was freelancing. It is a really great sugar mic, but the only thing is I wouldn't recommend it for today. I recommend that you use ones from Rode or Sennheiser. The only thing is it is absolutely fucking battered. I have literally used this thing so much. I literally have duct tape on it. I saw that there was loads of wires. Literally this thing is falling apart. I'm probably going to be upgrading this mic soon. I'm probably going to be upgrading it to the Rode NTG microphone, which is a really great microphone. A lot of skate filmers use it as well, but I'm going to be using a load of different microphones in my arsenal. There are so many microphones out there nowadays. Since I am a professional in the video world, I need to be using professional grade audio such as lab mics. So the lab mic which I do use is the Neewer CM28, since it was a lot cheaper than the other ones from different companies like Rode. The Rode wireless goes were massively out of my price range because they cost near enough 400 quid for a lav set. Also DJI are up there as well, but probably I'm going to be upgrading this one soon once I can afford it. You are listening to it right now. It sounds quite good. It comes with two lavaliers. I spent the extra money to get some lapel mics as well, which is really great if you are a professional videographer. Buy what you can afford. Use what is good for your workflow. I found out that it worked for mine at the moment. Probably it won't work for a while. If I have to rent some from say Rode or DJI, I will have to do that, and I will see what they do sound like. But the world of audio is a really big subject to talk about, so I'm probably going to be talking about in another video. If you want me to do a video on audio itself, please put down in the comments below if you want me to do that. A lot of people now have moved away from using a Steadicam or glide cams. They have moved on to use gimbals. Myself, I don't like to use a gimbal since I feel like it feels a little bit robotic and that you can't move quickly. Say if you are filming a skater doing a trick, it is really hard to pan with it really quickly. But I got a really great deal on this Steadicam HD 2000. I got it for £57 off MPB. I recommend that you use MPB to buy near enough all of your gear. I think that buying used saves you a lot more money as well. The Steadicam HD 2000 has been used on many different productions, from the highest productions out there to literally the smallest indie productions. So some of my favorite videos have been filmed on a glide cam, from such as ones from Devin Graham, and some of my favorite video parts as well. Devin Graham has a signature glide cam itself, but I didn't want to spend the money on it because literally it is almost £900, which is a ridiculously overpriced. The other thing that I have found with this glide cam, it is really hard to travel in my camera bag. So what I am thinking about doing with it is buying a case for it or bag for it, which I can use on my productions. What I had to do with the Neewer was I had to stick it on my camera bag on top of all my gear on my camera bag, and then close the lid on itself, which was really annoying. It did get really heavy. Literally, you are skating from the skate park and going from spot to spot. It did get really annoying, such as when we had to go all the way through London, such as going to South Bank, going to other skate parks in London, which we ended up not filming at because it was absolutely packed and Jack didn't feel like he could get any clips at the park. Low-tech items are one of the most essential and useful tools in any filmmakers or photographers arsenal. One of the items that I do use, which is very low tech, is a really good handle. Having a really good handle really does change how you shoot, such as myself, I use the small rig handle. It is a really good handle since you can legit rig it up. Small rig is mainly known for rigging up cameras from the highest end cameras out there to the smallest camera out there, such as the FX3. So what I do recommend is having a really good handle really does change how you shoot. Before I bought this one, I wanted to use a monitor and a microphone on top of my camera, but what I did notice straight away is that I couldn't bring my camera straight onto a tripod from shooting handheld, which I did find out, which was really fucking annoying. So what I did some research on YouTube, and I found out that a lot of the filmmakers and filmers out there that shoot the type of content that I shoot, they use a really good handle, such as from Tilter or Small Rig. It doesn't cost too much. It only costs about 60 quid, which a lot of you may scream about. 60 quid for a fucking handle. Yeah, that does seem quite a lot for a handle, but having a really good quality handle such as a metal one really does help. And what I have found out was there wasn't a cage for my camera, since I had to mount this one on my hot shoe mount, which really isn't safe for a camera. Thank you, Small Rig. Filters are one of the most essential pieces of kit that you need in your arsenal. A really good variable ND filter really does change how you shoot, since they are mainly sunglasses for your camera. But what I have found out straight away is that putting bits of glass in front of your expensive glass can soften the image. The really expensive ones, such as the Peter Canon one from Polar Pro, really does cost a lot of money, such as £300 for a fucking filter. I found that K&F were a really good company, and they are really representable from a load of professional filmmakers and photographers out there. I did a lot of research, I watched a load of YouTube videos, and I found that K&F are a really good and representable brand. There are loads of different filters out there, such as the Black Promise, the Black Saturn, but that's for another video. Another piece of kit that I have in my camera bag is a good weight and focus card. This is a really good piece of kit and a cheap piece of kit as well, since literally you can focus up your shots and also white balance your shots as well. If you're using a camera that doesn't have really good white balance, such as proper white balance control, if you are using such as the HPX etc., which I have found out which doesn't have really good white balance, it is a really good piece of kit. It's a really cheap piece of kit as well, which I do recommend for different styles of productions. What I found out is I don't use it that often, which I feel like I need to be using it a lot more. If you don't have really good white balance, it really does destroy your footage, and it can be a pain when it comes down to post. Having a load of batteries in your camera bag has now become an essential piece of gear, such as the smallest production in the world to the highest production in the world all use batteries. So I have many in my arsenal. I have many for my camera. I use a dummy battery for my camera when I am shooting productions like this, interviews, etc. What I recommend is that if you have a shotgun mic and it's used AA batteries, that you have a fresh set of AA batteries, and you have many different batteries for your camera, such as if you are using V mounts, I recommend that you have multiple V mounts, so you have 2 minimum and upwards of 4. Also having like multiple ones for your lights, etc. Keeping your camera and lens clean is one of the most important parts of any production, since you want to make sure that your image and your gear doesn't look absolutely disgusting. So in my camera bag myself, I carry loads of different lens wipes and different style of cloths and lens pens as well. So the ones that I use myself, I use the Zeiss lens wipes, which I think are the industry standard. I'm not really 100% sure. So what I don't recommend is that you use your shirt or any bit of clothing to wipe your lens, since you could be filming or skating all day and you want to film a clip and literally your lens lens gets a little bit dirty and you start wiping with it, that just puts extra dirt on your lens, and you do not want that. So over my years of filmmaking and filming different people, I found out that carrying a load of tools in my camera bag have became extremely useful, such as when I am out at the skate park and I have a rider that and his scooter is really loose and doesn't sound that good. What I carry with me is I carry some wax in my camera bag, which really does become really useful when filming a ledge or a rail clip, such as you don't want to be riding a sticky ledge or rail. It's really hard to explain what sticky is if you are not a skater or a scooter rider or anything, but I use loads of different types of tools, such as multi-tools, and also like different types of bolts for different types of things. One thing which I do use is I use the small rig multi-tool, which really does become really useful when mounting or rigging cameras. Having a great skate tool in your camera bag as well really does help, and also carrying different types of bearings, different bolts and everything like that, which a lot of skateboard filmers do use. Yeah. Being a creative should not feel like work at all. Always update your camera bag and always adapt to your workflow as well. Such as with mine, I like to carry wax about and tools. But if you want to learn more about why pre-production is extremely important, you can click this video here.